Hi, NEM community around the world. I'm Alexis Trujillo, and this is the NEM Show. NEM Hub is the muscle of the active NEM community through the social mining concept, something that has been lately making waves in our ecosystem. Today we'll be talking about DAO Maker, the organizing platform of this NEM community initiative. DAO Maker works with many blockchain communities, allowing user experience and influence becoming a system to reward the participating members. Now NEM Hub is using this platform to reinvigorate the community, but yet there are many members who ask what's for them in social mining. Let's find that out. We're about to explain a little better what social mining is with DAO Maker, but I guess the best suited to explain that process and how is it that its CEO is Christoph Sacknum is joining us in this NEM Show episode to explain that. Welcome, Chris. How are you? Welcome to the NEM Show.
Good. Thank you for having me.
No. Thank you for your time, man. Well, the big time news nowadays is our NEM Hub thing. It's the new improvement that we're delivering to our NEM community. What's social mining and what's for the NEM community?
So social mining basically is an idea. This idea is, why don't we give people who do more for our blockchain rewards for it? And why don't we let the people who hold tokens decide who should be rewarded more? Because nobody is more qualified to validate who is more valuable than the token holders itself. Because they have a stake, they have the incentive to push the people who are pushing the company, the coin. And that's more or less what social mining is. Social mining is just a UI platform for this idea.
And of course, social mining is about task. It's about performing task. How is that process?
So social mining is split into two sections. There's a centralized version and moving to the decentralized version. Centralized version is very straightforward, right? We find people who are qualified to give out work to their own community, and they are then graded on the tasks they create, and people are graded on how well they qualify for these tasks. This is straightforward. People can later on in the social mining NEM Hub can make their own tasks for their own community. Then there's a decentralized version. The decentralized version is more autonomous because let's say I'm a video creator. I know my skill set, I know what I can do, and I know more or less what I can do that will be better for NEM. So I have to be like, what is in my skill set that other NEM holders will like? Because if NEM holders will see that I do something good for them, then they have the incentive for upvoting me. Because if I have more reasons to push NEM, then that's good for NEM and that's good for them because they have tokens and coins. So these are the two task systems.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Now, besides NEM, besides NEM Hub, you handle other communities. How has been this experience, and how do you think that experience could improve our community through this task performance?
Yes. So I've been specializing in community building, which is something very specific to crypto. You don't hear about community building outside of this industry. The reason why community is so essential is because everybody has a micro stake, a micro share in the company. So the shareholders of NEM are much broader. So we have this new problem to solve. How do we keep our shareholders or coin holders, happy and commune? This is some idea and a problem that we tackled for almost 3 years. Out of this problem, we built the software. And I think we have built around 5 to 6 communities, some of the best in the industry. Some of them are now 20, 30,000 people. And we brought coins up from 0 to now top 30 within 1 year. Top 40, I think, I'm not quite sure. I haven't checked the charts lately.
Okay, we're talking big time numbers here. Okay, now at this moment there might be some people interested in joining NEM Hub, of course through DAO Maker. How, if I want to join NEM Hub, how can I do? What's the process?
Well,
I mean, from scratch,
NEM,
okay? If I have no experience in that, how can I do to join
sure.
NemHub?
Exactly. So let's say NemHub is for members, right? For the community members of Nem. Which means we assume that if you're a member, you have XEM, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't care much about NEM because you don't have a stake. If you like the company, you buy the share because you want to push it. So this is the first type of our target audience. People who believe in NEM and want to push it. For these people, the NEM Hub is perfect. Basically, they just take their wallets. They cannot have their tokens on an exchange. It has to be on their own wallet. There's many different wallets that support NEM. And all they have to do is copy paste their public key into the platform. And twice a day, we scan the blockchain explorer because it's transparent. We can exactly see who is holding the tokens. And we say, okay, you're a token holder. Now you're allowed to earn tokens. What you do next is you think, what can I do with my skill sets to help NEM as a greater ecosystem? Right? Everybody has skill sets. There's writers, there's infographic makers, there's business developers, people speak Spanish. Now, the beautiful thing about a decentralized company is it can be very powerful, but extremely hard to organize. What the NEM Hub does is it basically self-organizes itself. Now, what most people think is a DAO is a smart contract governed Ethereum-based DeFi thing. That's not what a DAO is. A DAO is like an idea like democracy or capitalism or communism. It's basically the idea that if everybody would work in his best own interest, it's also in the best interest for the ecosystem as a whole. So if you work for your own money, or XEM, then you will be earning reputation in the system from other people, and they will push you because they want you to do better, because they're big holders of XEM, and they want to see the ecosystem growing again and becoming more awake. So if they see somebody who's very engaged and skilled, they will push him, which will mean he will have more influence in the system, and he will also get paid more. And that's what a DAO is. A DAO is simply a group of people who all work for their self-best interest, and as a result, the whole community grows.
Well, thank you, Chris, of course. But okay, one quick question before we say goodbye. How is the progress of NemHub? How have you seen it to grow since it began like 2 months ago in its beta phase? Okay, now, okay, can you tell me how big it is now? Can you tell me those numbers?
NEM has been a very special community for us because we have so far usually worked with non-communities we've built them. So NEM is gigantic already. It has 6-7 languages and leaders and people of influence. And we had to come inside and first learn a lot about the community itself. We can't just come in and be like, hey, we're the new guy. Right? We have to be respected by everybody and say, we're not going to step on anybody's toes. What is very beautiful to see in the NEM Hub is that we have now almost 4 different languages, community languages, coexisting on the platform, which has so far never happened before, which means the Japanese are working together, the Russians, but internally and all on one platform. We can see we have around 1,300 active users and about $7 million of XEM staked to the platform, which is approximately 120 million XEM tokens, which people are staking in order to showcase that they can vote each other. So if I stake my XEM, it says I'm interested in voting on other people's work. So that's probably the best indicator of the success of the platform because it's not possible to fake it with money.
Thank you, Chris, for your time, and thank you all who watched the show until this moment. I can say goodbye without you inviting you first to tell us how do you like the show and who you would like to see on the next edition. You may write to any of our social platforms and tell us how are we doing, and of course, who do you want to see next. Thank you, Chris, for being here. If you have some final thoughts, you may be so kind to leave us. Please feel free to do so.
Sure. It's been a pleasure so far working with the NEM community because it's a very old community and we've been learning a lot so far from all the old members in this space.
And we all hope you and we, of course, we do that on NemHub. Well, it's all that we have to say until this moment. My name is Alexis Trujillo. Thanks again to Christoph Sacknum from DAO Maker. Okay, see you in the next episode of the Nem Show. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks. Bye-bye.